everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. My guest today is a Grammy Award winning vocalist and musician, and he is the Dailey halves of Dailey and Vincent duo. Please welcome my very handsome and my very funny friend, Jamie Dailey.
How's my makeup?
It's perfect, Jamie. Did you do it yourself?
Yeah, it looks like I got a nest of birds in my hair right now, but hey, I'm doing the best I can. How are you, Karen?
I'm great. How are you, Jamie?
I'm good. Getting ready to clean house.
Are you? So how
Yeah.
have you been through all this?
Oh, mostly between good and moron, something like that, Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's different? You know?
Exactly what's different. Maybe the good part. I don't know. It's been I hate that we're having to go through this. I hate, so badly that people have died, people are sick, and the people on the front lines working with this horrible virus. And, our prayers are with them. Our hearts are with them, our thoughts. But I think also at the same time, this has reset a lot of families back in order. And I think it's brought a lot of people together that I think it's been nice in some ways because we're able to spend time with family more and able to get our priorities straightened up a little more,
Sure. And certainly there has been silver linings throughout this. So hopefully we'll all be back to whatever the normal is going to be, but performing and back at the Grand Ole Opry before too long. I know that you've been streaming some shows, haven't you?
We have our TV show on Circle TV, which you're supposed to be a guest on soon.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so we have that weekly show. It's on 2 or 3 times a week. We've been very blessed to be able to go and host the Grand Ole Opry on live television for Circle, along with Ricky Skaggs and Bobby Bones. That was a lot of fun, though it was surreal when you go in the backstage. As you know, you normally see people walking to and fro everywhere and shaking hands, always busy. But when we walked in a few weeks ago, it was nothing but the 5 or 6 of us in our band, Ricky Skaggs, Darren Vincent, myself, and the band members that we had. And each of us had our own dressing room to stay quarantined from each other. And when we walked out on the Opry stage to go out to the Circle, there was no audience. And so it was a really surreal moment to sing at the Grand Ole Opry and perform there and it not be a live audience.
I know that is just, and with certainly something you guys can do. Like, I guess it's more like being in studio for you. For comedy, it's almost impossible not to have a live audience. But even for music, I know you love that connection with the audience. You also do a lot of banter and are very funny and in between songs. And so I know that's just a different feeling for you.
It certainly is. And I try to keep my jokes at the minimum. I would have nobody laughing other than Darren Vincent.
Yeah, and Darren will laugh all the time. I mean,
yeah, he really, I win on stage. I have it better than anybody that tells jokes on stage because if my joke is funny, he laughs. If I bomb, he laughs. So I'm covered on both ends. And mostly I bomb, so he laughs a lot.
Well, I want to share with the audience how I got on the Opry. This is a crazy story because I am just lying in bed one night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And all of a sudden my phone pings and it's Jamie Dailey. And the message says, hey, I've been hearing you on XM radio and I love your comedy and would love to have you on my segment of the Grand Ole Opry. Well, I'm thinking someone has hacked his account. and is messing with me. I mean, I thought it was a joke completely. And it took me doing like a little research to go, is this for real? Is this really Jamie? And does he really want to have me on the Opry?
Well, I was driving down the interstate from my Nashville house, and I have a country place in Gainesboro, Tennessee, where I grew up. And I was driving between the two places, and I was listening to XM radio, Laugh USA. And I see this name come on, says Karen Mills, and I start hearing some very funny nobody had made me laugh the whole trip. Nobody really made me laugh. You come on and you had me absolutely in stitches. because your comedy was something that I grew up with, something I could understand, and something that was very funny. And I was thinking, man, I don't know what I have to do, but we have got to get her on the Opry. She's just too funny not to be on the Opry. So that's why I sent you the message. And of course, you thought I was fake news, I guess. And
I did. And then you kind of warned me that this was a longer process. It may take 6 months or whatever, but within about 8 weeks, I was approved and actually on your segment of the Grand Ole Opry. And it was one of the, and now I've been on 5 times, and it's just always one of the warmest experiences I ever have in this business. Just
well, you did us very proud. You absolutely killed the audience at the Opry. They were laughing, and I believe that Dan Rogers, Gina Keltner, who booked the Opry, is also the vice president of the Opry, the general manager. They were very, very happy with your performance, and we all were. You really made us happy, and I'm glad you continue to come back and visit us there. You really fit right in. Glad you're there.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jamie. And the thing's so impressive about you. You did that for me, but I've seen you do it for so many young artists. Anyone that are up and coming and you're impressed with, you will get on the phone, you will give them a hand up, and it is just so. I just respect you so much for that. I mean, you're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Well, I appreciate it, Lucy.
Well, tell us how you got started.
Well, I was working in a factory in Cookeville trying to save money to go to college. And I had been watching Doyle, Lawson, and Quicksilver, who is a bluegrass legend in the bluegrass music industry, since I was a small guy. And I was first enamored by the Statler brothers, who were my childhood heroes. And I knew everything they ever did. And then I found the bluegrass group, Doyle, Lawson, and Quicksilver, fell in love with their music. And a gentleman had heard me singing a lot of Doyle's songs and knew I could sing really high, which you have to do in Doyle's group. And he told Doyle about me. He said, there's a 22-year-old kid up in Middle Tennessee. I think he would really fit your sound. Long story short, I got a phone call out of the blue. I'm sitting at home one day after work, reading through a magazine. The phone rings. I said, hello. He said, yes, this is Doyle Lawson. Is Jamie Dailey there? Well, I thought some of my friends were playing a joke on me. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I'm Bill Clinton. And he said, no, is Jamie there? This is Doyle Lawson. I said, yeah, right. And I'm Monica. You want to come to the White House and visit? I just kept going. And he said, you have an ID caller. I said, yeah. So I walked over to the ID caller and looked, and it said East Tennessee. And I knew Doyle lived in East Tennessee. And I was like, oh, right. And I got back on the phone. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm moving to another country, But he said, come to Bristol, try out. I went to Bristol, tried out on the bus. He said, you have the job. And I ran off the bus, got in the car, and he waved me down across the parking lot. I stopped. I rolled down the window. He said, son, would you like to know what kind of money you're going to be making? I didn't even think about money. And I use that story a lot, Karen, for the entertainment industry, for younger folks who ask, they want to be in the music industry. They want to be in entertainment. I believe you have to do it first because you love it. Yeah. And if you truly, truly love it, and you truly work hard and you try hard and you have the right amount of talent, the money will come. But I never thought about that. I was just happy to be going on the road with a national act. And so the first show I ever played was January 1st, 1999 in Jekyll Island, Georgia, to a packed house of 3,000 people. And the rest is history. And then later on, Dailey and Vincent, we started when Darren Vincent left Ricky Skaggs and I left Doyle, Lawson, and Quicksilver. We had sang with Dolly Parton on a Christmas song, and on the compilation CD where that song was recorded, they let us have our own duet song. And it went #1 over everything for 6 months. I've got the charts framed now in my house. It was 6 months. It went for #1. And it's like, holy cow. And so we were offered a record deal by Rounder Records, and now we're out here as Dailey and Vincent. So, yeah.
Wow, that is an awesome story. And just curious, what kind of factory were you working in Cookeville?
Cummins Engine Company, and we were making heavy duty filters for dump trucks, big heavy equipment, and tractor and trailer trucks.
So that's pretty funny because, you didn't think it was really Doyle, and I didn't think it was really you. And, I think it's also a metaphor for life. You know, one day you're making filters, one day you're just sitting at home, not, you know, your career's kind of just on idle, and then right around the corner, you never know what's going to be there. I compare it a lot to my little chihuahua that I rescued, who was pregnant and homeless on my street. And now when she goes potty, I hold an umbrella over her head if it's raining. I mean, things like that.
Will you hold an umbrella over me when I go potty?
Sure, Jamie. If you go in the rain, I don't know. Is that?
Well, sometimes I do. Just be different.
Well, I have to ask, what was it like working with Dolly?
Darren has the closer relationship with Dolly, and I've been around her several times now. She is nothing but first class act all the way around. When it comes to business, when it comes to passion, heart, the person she is, who she is, she's nothing but first class, and very funny. She loves to try to make Darren laugh because of his laugh. You know, she will do anything she can to make him laugh. But I sang on her record In the Meantime. I think I sang 4 songs on that with her, and plus the Christmas song on the Christmas Grass. And I think there was one other thing I can't remember exactly. But she's very, very funny, very lovable, and very down to earth.
Well, and I think when someone has been a star as many years as she has, and you build this image in your mind, and you so hope that when you meet them, they live up to that. And I know that's probably a lot of pressure on the artist, but she always just seemed like someone who just really is what she is and would not disappoint, and she would be everything you'd want her to be.
She exceeded our expectations by far. She is a fantastic 100% wonderful human being all the way around, and she doesn't get caught up in all this political mess and all this diversity. I mean, she loves everybody, and I just really, really appreciate that about her. And she's fair around the whole gamut of everything. She's fair about it. What
Right.
more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for? And you know, she's always just been someone I've just admired so much, and would love to meet, and never been hotter than she is right now. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
who would have thought?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I didn't help her career any.
That's why she blew up, I'm sure, after you sang with her.
Oh.
Well, tell us what people would be surprised to learn about you, Jamie.
Probably surprised that I love classical music, and I love to sit and read books and listen to classical music. And then the next day I would be out riding 4-wheelers and mudding in a creek and kayaking all at the same time. So I'm a pretty broad-ranged person. I like a lot of different things and enjoy a lot of different hobbies. So some people find that interesting, that
is,
you know, from one side to the other and just have fun riding 4-wheelers, but listening to classical music, reading books, and my love for chocolate.
More than life itself, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're an outdoorsman and you do a lot of kayaking and that kind of thing. So, but I did not know that you enjoy classical music. So that is something. Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely love. It's something that winds me down after a stressful day or stressful tour. You come home, and I love to put that on, dim the lights throughout the house, cook a little something, and get a good book and snuggle up with my Yorkie in there and read. Mr. Beatty.
Mr. Beatty.
You've been Beatty.
Oh, Mr. Beatty, he is just the cutest thing. Oh my gosh, I watch him on Instagram, and y'all look just alike.
He does have his dad's blonde hair on top, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little more hair, but other than
yeah, he has a whole lot more.
Well, and when did you realize you could sing? Like, how old were you when you realized that you had this?
I still don't know that I can sing.
You don't have to be
try, but I've been trying to sing since I was 3 years old, and I entered a contest. And I was telling the Oak Ridge boys recently, dear friends of ours, I said at 3 years old, I'm on stage in Livingston, Tennessee at Pioneer Day singing Elvira. And so here I am, I'm a tenor, even more of a tenor at, 3 or 4 years old. And I got to the Papa Mau Mau, Papa Mau Mau. All I could do is Papa Mau Mau. That's as low as I could get. But I won third place. And so after I lost, I slid a bunch of car tires and left at 4. I got my knife. Like, this is bull, and I left.
And how long have you played?
I've been playing since I was about 9 years old. Yeah.
And how many instruments do you play?
Well, I play guitar, and that's even questionable, but I play mandolin, banjo, and bass. Okay. And I pick my nose too. I think you do that a time or two.
Well, what is the best advice you've ever gotten?
The best advice I was ever given. One of the pieces of advice given to me was from my dear friend who is no longer with us. She was the former United States ambassador to Switzerland, Faith Ryan Whittlesey. You can Google her, Faith Ryan Whittlesey. She was a senior White House official under Reagan and helped him get elected, actually. And then after 4 years of a stint in the White House, she was made ambassador to Switzerland. Later on, she found me in Florida singing at a bluegrass festival in a field and asked that I go and serve with her across the world and do some diplomatic trips as a young leader of America for the American Swiss Foundation. And so from the time I was 24 years old up to just a year and a half ago, she was my mentor for all those years. And we traveled the world together, and I learned a ton from her. She actually has a book called Backwards in High Heels. And that's she and Reagan on the front page in the front of the book in the Oval Office. Very smart lady. And she taught me years ago to always try, if you can at all, to take the high road under the heat and pressure of things that you should stay above the fray on, and let those who are trying to destroy and disrupt and stir the stink, as you've heard, try to take the high road and remain above that, and let those who try to destroy each other and try to cause trouble, let them do what they do, because in time they will fizzle out and it'll be harder on them. Right. So that's really, really great advice. With Doyle Lawson, I received a lot of good advice on becoming a road professional, how to work as a unit. When you're in a band of 5 to 10 people, you work as a unit. It's not all about me, or you have to work on the road and on stage as a unit and listen to each other on stage and perform as one, because that really works. And we teach that in our band. And the advice that I give our band, and we started this several years ago when we were playing Carnegie Hall, headlining up there in New York. We did that 3 years in a row. We were doing the Opry, and we always do the Ryman Auditorium downtown Nashville every year. And we had a sold out show at an evening with Dailey and Vincent at Bluegrass Nights, brought to you by Springer Mountain Farms Chicken, Gus Arundel. That's our sponsor. Mm-hmm. We called the band in the front of the bus, and I said, look, guys, we have nearly 2,500 people in the Ryman Auditorium tonight. And I want you all to know how blessed we are to be able to have crowd sizes like this, for a little old band like us to be able to pull this amount of ticket sales. All the places we go, we're very blessed. But here's the deal. We have to realize that in that audience tonight, there is someone in that audience that might be going through a lot of sickness, whether it be cancer, which you know very much about, heart trouble. Someone could have lost a loved one. Someone could be going through a divorce. Someone could be going through financial troubles, family troubles. We don't know, but there are people in that audience that are having a tough time tonight. You can count on it. It is our job as entertainers to go out and take them on a 90-minute ride. And hopefully by the end of the night, they will leave there with joy in their heart and a smile on their face. And hopefully we took them on a ride to take them away from all of their thoughts and troubles for 90 minutes. And I think that's our job as entertainers. And I think that goes for you too. That's especially what you do, comedy.
Same thing. Yes. I've always stayed away, and I'm not criticizing whatever anybody does is their business. But a lot of times I know comics feel like they have to address the controversy of the moment. And And that's why sometimes I think, am I really a comic or am I an entertainer? Because what I want to do is lift people up and make people happy and make people feel good. So that's what I do when I go to my show, whether it's just straight up comedy or whether it's speaking at an event or whatever it is. I want people to leave having laughed and having forgotten their troubles and feeling better. So I agree with you. I think it's so important.
Very much is.
And you're great at it.
Well, I hope so. I haven't been on the stage in 3 months now. I hope I still remember how. And you get used to the spotlight and you want to be on stage and the lights singing. And I came downstairs at midnight the other night to get a drink of water. And I opened up the refrigerator door and saw the light. And I did a 30-minute show right there in the kitchen. That's missing, You ever done that?
No, but that's a good
and
idea.
I was even dancing, Karen. I was even dancing. I was so happy to see a spotlight.
Now, I have done shows where I felt like I was playing to the milk carton, and
so have we. So have we. Yep. It's like, crowd, where are you? Where are you?
Hello. This thing on.
Here. Are you enjoying this? Are you hating it? Why are you here?
Right. Exactly. Well, everyone sees us as entertainers, and that's why I've enjoyed doing this show, because I like to give people a little bit of, the insight to the person. And and so that's why I like this talk about some of this stuff is even silly. I do these little rapid fire questions, but it's fun for people to just hear your answers. So I'm going to do a few rapid fire questions at you. You ready?
Oh, yep, go.
Very easy. You drink your tea sweet or unsweet?
Splenda.
Do you prefer cake or pie?
Cake.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
What's Dolly's cell phone number?
615-347. Have a great time.
That's pretty quick. Tell us something that's on your bucket list.
To lay in a bed full of frozen peanut butter cups, Reese's.
I thought you were a Mounds guy.
Nope. You've been to my house. You see chocolate everywhere,
I know, but I thought it was Mounds. It's peanut butter cups.
Well, it depends on the mood I'm in. Lately, I'm on a peanut butter kick.
Oh, you're on that. Yeah.
In the freezer, Oh, and M&Ms in the freezer, they're good too.
Oh, see, I like them in the sun. I like them almost melting to where I can just barely, where they're
on my bucket list. I would love, seriously, I thought about doing this when I retire. I would like to travel around the United States, seriously, and go to all the different presidential libraries and spend 3 or 4 days at these places and study and look through the archives and just enjoy those places and learn. So that is one thing that is certainly on my bucket list. And one of the other things on my bucket list I was able to do last night, I drove around the neighborhood and counted cracks in the asphalt.
That's the COVID bucket list.
Yeah, COVID bucket list.
Yeah, and those Reese's cups are going to end up in the COVID 20.
Exactly.
When we go back, everybody's like eating themselves to death. So, what's your favorite hobby?
Kayaking, 4-wheeling, and camping in the woods up at my place.
Ah, cool. I see pictures of you on Instagram doing that stuff, and it just looks so beautiful up there.
So fun. You have to come up.
I know. I need to.
You have to come up, and we'll cook and eat, and I'll bring some peanut butter cups.
I always love a good Reese's. Okay, this is first and favorites. What was the first concert you ever attended?
George Jones in McMinnville, Tennessee. And I was just struck. I was like, oh, this is so cool, because I loved the possum and never did get to know him until the end of his life. And I got to become buddies with him, and we exchanged numbers, and we'd call one another. And we sang on his last performance. He had passed, and they did the big thing at Bridgestone Arena, and they asked us to come sing. And he sent me a beautiful letter that I'm actually having framed as we speak before he passed. And I've got the picture of he and I in the letter, having it framed. It's a wonderful moment. We had worked an arena with him in Arkansas. It was us, the Cash family, Gary Morris, Chris Christopherson, and several others. and we got to work with him out there, and it was just an absolute blast.
You've played some really cool places and with so many people. And we have a mutual friend. She's been your friend forever, but I love her so much, having met her on the Opry. And I'd love to have her on this little show. And that is Jeannie Seely. If she is not a hoot.
What a mess. Well, I'll tell you a funny story about Jeannie Seely. She and the Old Crow Medicine Show inducted us into the Grand Ole Opry. And so we're getting ready to go out to, a packed house, 4,500 people to be inducted. And we start walking out, and Seely looks at me. She says, "Now, don't you get out there and start crying, because I'm wearing my false eyelashes and I'll start crying too, and they'll fall off." So we go out there and we go through the induction, and we get our Opry induction trophy, and we're walking off the stage, and I'm just crying and she says, "Well, hell, I'm glad at least you're not wearing your false eyelashes." That's just one of many stories. Yeah.
Many. Oh, I'd love to have her on to tell some of the stories she's told me. They are so, and she defines spunk.
Spunk, absolutely.
She's made a lot of changes for women in the Opry, and that's huge.
She has, if the Opry ever asked me for my official Opry statement, which they have on the walls back there, you'll see statements from Garth Brooks or Brad Paisley, the members of the Opry. If they ever ask me for my member statement, mine will be, if I'm ever heckled from the audience, I want Seely standing next to me. Because she can handle them. She
can handle them. She is something. What was your first car?
My first car I bought was I can't remember the year. It was an old Chevy Blazer, and it had 300,000 miles on it. And every time I'd turn a curve, the radio would go off, and you'd smack the dash, and it'd come back on. And then you'd turn left and pull into a parking lot, it'd just quit, and you'd have to crank it back on while you're rolling through the parking lot. And then soot would blow everywhere. That was my first car. And I even had a mattress that I put in the back of that Chevy Blazer, and I traveled around on the weekends from small bluegrass festival to small bluegrass festival, playing competitions and little shows. And I slept in the back of the SUV. And so many young people come up and say, "Man, you started at the top with the big bus and the big career with Doyle and Dailey and Vincent." It's like, no, for 15, 16 years, I slept in a mattress in the back of a car or a van or an SUV, traveling around making absolutely no money, and mostly having to play to sing and pay to sing and play.
It's that 20-year overnight sensation. I mean, people just because they just now heard of you, they think you just showed up overnight when you've been out here forever trying to make it happen.
That's right.
What was your first job? Not as a musician, just your first job.
I was 14 years old, and I went to work for Anderson and Hale Drug Company, which is still in Gainesboro, Tennessee, on the square. And I scooped ice cream. So I'd get out of school, I'd walk home from school to the house, and I would get on my bicycle and ride it up to the drugstore, and I would scoop ice cream. And I let my money build up for several months, and then I would go down weekly after that to the little Sears and Roebuck store we had in town, and I would order a new shirt, and I'd get a new shirt every couple of weeks. I was so proud of those shirts because I was working hard to pay for them, and I bought myself a brand new bicycle. Oh, it was good. It had nice rims on it. It's great.
Oh, so you've been like an entrepreneur from the get-go. You've just been out there making your own living from an early age, making it happen.
Right.
What I love too is talking about your new shirts. You always have on the greatest clothes.
Really? I don't think so.
No, you have, and at the Opry, you have velvet blazers and cool shoes. I mean, you're a snappy dresser.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You are too. Way more so than I.
No.
You always look fantabulous.
But I love it. Oh, you're sweet. What about your first pet?
My first pet was a dog named Brutus, and he was a mixture, but he was kind of mean. I was 3 years old, out running around in the yard, and he pushed me down in a mud puddle up against the house and took his paw, seriously, and turned the water faucet on, was trying to drown me. Yeah, that really happened. Yeah.
Brutus sounds like a
now Darren Vincent tries to do that to me. Darren Vincent. He tries to
He's not big enough to, though.
Yeah, it's that life insurance policy.
Yeah. What about your first plane ride?
My first plane ride, of all things, I had worked really hard and put back some money, and I wanted to take my mother to Hawaii. And so I booked us a flight. That was my first flight from Nashville to Hawaii.
How old were you?
That was interesting.
How old were you?
Oh gosh, I was probably 18. Yeah.
And you took your mom to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you realize how long a flight it was when you booked it?
Yes, but I had no concept. I'd never traveled, so I had no concept of how that was. All I remember is we were going over the ocean, and the plane would hit turbulence. I was just gripping the seat with all my nails and just, the hook, because I thought I was going to die.
You work over there quite a bit, don't you, in Hawaii?
No, we don't. I wish we did.
Oh, okay. I thought you
But
did.
if you got a connection, send them my way.
Yeah. No, I don't. I was hoping you did.
You're out of luck.
What's your favorite quote or saying?
My favorite quote or my favorite saying?
Southern expression or
Southern expression. Oh my gosh. How's your mom and them? You ever heard that?
Oh yeah.
and then my mother, her thing is, and we've gotten away from it a little bit now that I've made so much fun of her, but you would call home, from the road like I do every night. Hey mom, how's it going? Well, I went over to Walmart and everything, and went down to the grocery store and everything, got stuff needed and all that and everything. And so everything was on the end of every sentence, and Jimmy and I cooked supper and everything. We're just doing good and everything. Y'all good?
I always loved Jeff Foxworthy. They did a bit on, he was at some family gathering and he was getting ready to run to the store, and everybody was gathered on the porch, and he pulled up in the truck and said, y'all want to go? And everybody came piling off the porch to get in the truck. And he said, well, I didn't mean all y'all. About y'all is plural, but all y'all is like double plural. That's
right.
Always makes me laugh. What's your favorite comfort food?
Oh gosh, I love like meat and potatoes, mac and cheese, pot roast, those type things, and pasta. I know that's a stretch, but I mean, I love both. Those, I love, especially if I'm stressed, give that to me. Then follow a bunch of chocolate.
I love a mac and cheese, and I love a potato. I could sit and have mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, French fries, taters, all in a scallop potato. Are you kidding me? I mean, I could eat it all in one sitting. It's bad.
I love it.
I can't, but I could. What's your favorite movie?
I truly enjoyed last year the Downton Abbey movie. I really, really enjoyed that movie. And I loved The King's Speech. That was another movie that I truly, truly enjoyed. And as far as the drama, exciting movies, years ago, for a long time, my two favorite movies were Air Force One with Harrison Ford, and Christmas Vacation is still an all-time favorite.
All-time favorite. Those are some great selections. And do you have a favorite song?
Oh gosh, I have so many favorite songs.
You do.
I just sang one on my Instagram account recently. That's one of my all-time favorite songs, called "The Rose" by Bette Midler.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
That's I really want to record that at some point.
You really are broad, Jamie.
I know I've got to lose some. It's been quarantine. Back and on.
You're not a one-trick pony. You do a lot of stuff and have broad interest. I love it. Okay, last favorite question. Who is your favorite comedian?
Karen Mills.
Right answer. Bob, tell him what he's won.
Well, let me ask you a question. Who's your favorite country bluegrass artist?
Dailey Vincent.
I think you should add a Dailey before that.
I love you.
Darren's one of the most talented people on earth. He's one of my favorites.
He is. He's very talented.
And when it comes to laughing, you of all people want him in your audience at all times.
Oh, I will be when I've been on the Opry. He will stand in the wings and he
You
will
can hear,
be laughing like, I
yeah,
mean, someone is tickling him. I've never
yes.
seen his.
Oh, he gets tickled. You can go to YouTube and watch the Jamie lawnmower story. And this really happened. And he laughs for like 10 minutes trying to tell what happened to me. I had gone to the back of the bus and gone to bed, and I didn't know this was going on. But I'd had a rough day with the lawnmower, and we left on tour that night. And so one of our band members got the phone out and got to secretly videoing him in his PJs, laughing about what had happened to me. But I had this lawnmower, and I'm going across my backyard when I lived in Brentwood because I loved to mow my own yard. It was therapy for me. And out of nowhere, the deck of the mower just falls to the grass and starts digging up my yard, and I had to stop. And so I called the lawn company. They came, picked up the lawnmower, took it back, brought it back to me, and said that'd be $250. Like, geez. So I give them $250. They left. I get back on the lawnmower, start across the yard. It falls to the ground again, rolls up the dirt. So I call my dad, who can fix anything. I can't fix anything. You can see I can even fix my hair. So my dad comes down and he gets under there and he says, hell, son, they have charged you $250 for one rusted bolt. And he put that in there. Well, when I came to the bus and told that story, Darren thought that was the funniest thing he had ever heard, that I paid $250 for a rusted bolt. But he gets to telling that on YouTube, and you can watch him laugh. He's besides him. I didn't think he's that funny.
Well, him laughing about it gets you tickled because it's so contagious. His laughter is.
Yeah.
Well, I so appreciate you spending time with me today. I do want to let people know that Dailey and Vincent show is on the Circle Network. I'm going to be shooting it on August 4th. We tried to shoot it in March. It got postponed. We tried to shoot it in June. It got postponed again. So now we hope it's going to happen August 4th. So,
we're looking so forward to having you. And if I may promote one other thing, I produced a record on my dad, JB, called Step Back in Time. Dad is 73 years old and got Parkinson's disease. And I wanted to record a record on him before it got to where he couldn't. And the record has gone number 3 on Billboard, on Bluegrass Billboard. It had number 50 song on it, and it has gone number 1 on Airplay Direct. And I'm so proud for him. He's never had a record deal. I got him a record deal on Pine Castle Records. You can Google them, check them out, Pine Castle Records. And it was brought to you by Gus Arundel and Springer Mountain Farms Chicken. So I'm so proud of my dad. And people can buy that record at dailishop.com. That's a new website I put up for him, dailishop.com, dailishop.com.
That is great. I'm so happy for him and for you. That's awesome. And then I also want to mention we're going to be doing, hopefully, Land Fest in Hiwassee, Georgia on September 19th together.
Hopefully. Yep. We're hoping it hangs in there. I'm looking so forward to watching your show. I'm going to go out front and push somebody out of their chair so I can sit down and watch.
And then our cruise we were supposed to do in March is rescheduled for January. So the Red, White, and Blue cruise will be doing January 2nd through 7th. So hopefully it will sail. So we'll see.
We'll see. This is an unprecedented time, but I'm looking so forward, and I know Darren is too, to having you at Hiwassee. You're going to be down there with us and the Charlie Daniels Band, and gosh, I forget who all's coming. It's going to be fun.
Legends of Opry. There's a whole show of great legends from. It's going to be a great show. I just hope it happens.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you again, Jamie. I love you so much, and look forward to seeing you soon. And you be safe.
All right, love you. Bye.
Okay, bye, honey. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching the show. And tune in next Thursday for another very special guest.